Worrying about the future is something we all experience at some point in life. The future is unknown, and this uncertainty can fill our minds with countless what-if scenarios. What if things don't go as planned? What if I fail? What if something bad happens? While worrying is a natural human response, constantly dwelling on negative thoughts about things that haven't happened yet only robs you of your peace of mind. When you let anxiety take control, you lose the ability to enjoy the present moment, miss out on meaningful experiences, and even harm your mental well-being. More often than not, the things we worry about never actually happen, or if they do, they turn out to be far less disastrous than we imagined. The good news is that you have more control over your mindset than you think. By recognizing a few key truths about life, you can shift your perspective and learn to let go of unnecessary worries. Here are 5 powerful truths that will help you reduce anxiety about the future and embrace life with confidence and peace. 1. Most of what you worry about never happens. One of the biggest reasons we stress about the future is our tendency to focus on worst-case scenarios. Our minds are wired to anticipate problems, which is useful for survival, but in today's world, this often results in excessive anxiety. Instead of assessing situations rationally, we sometimes allow our thoughts to spiral, imagining disastrous outcomes that may never happen. Have you ever caught yourself replaying an imaginary failure over and over in your mind? Perhaps you are worried about an upcoming job interview, a major life decision, or a difficult conversation. You may have spent hours or even days anticipating everything that could go wrong. What if you stumbled over your words? What if you made the wrong choice? What if people judge you harshly? The reality, however, is that most of our fears never materialize. In fact, research has proven this to be true. A study conducted by Dr. Robert Leahy, a clinical psychologist, found that 85% of what people worry about never actually happens. Of the 15% of worries that do come true, the majority of people report that they handled the situation much better than expected, or that they learned something valuable from it. This means that most of the time, our anxieties are nothing more than mental illusions, scenarios our minds fabricate, but that have little basis in reality. Breaking the cycle of unnecessary worry. Understanding that most of our worries are unfounded is one thing, but learning how to stop them is another. Here are some practical strategies to help you reduce anxiety about the future and regain control over your thoughts. Question your fears. The next time you catch yourself worrying, pause and ask yourself, is this a real problem, or is my mind creating unnecessary fear? Is there actual evidence that things will go wrong, or am I just assuming the worst? If the worst-case scenario did happen, would it be as bad as I imagine? Would I be able to handle it? Most of the time, you'll find that your fears are exaggerated and not based on facts. Instead of assuming the worst, remind yourself of past challenges you've overcome. You've faced difficulties before and made it through. You'll do it again. Keep a worry journal. If you tend to ruminate on your fears, try writing them down. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by worry, take a moment to jot down exactly what you're afraid of. Then, set the list aside and revisit it in a week or two. More often than not, you'll realize that the things you are anxious about either never happened or weren't as bad as you expected. This simple practice can help you see how much unnecessary stress you create for yourself. Challenge negative thoughts. Our thoughts shape our emotions, so if you constantly think negatively about the future, you'll naturally feel anxious. To counter this, practice reframing your thoughts. Instead of saying, "I just know something will go wrong," try telling yourself, "I can't predict the future, but I trust myself to handle whatever comes my way." By consciously shifting your inner dialogue, you'll gradually train your mind to approach uncertainty with more confidence and less fear. Focus on the present moment. Worrying about the future takes you away from the present, making it difficult to enjoy life as it unfolds. One way to break free from this pattern is to practice mindfulness. Take a deep breath, ground yourself in the moment, and remind yourself that right now, everything is okay. The more you focus on what you can control in the present, the less power your future anxieties will have over you. Take action instead of overthinking. Many worries stem from feeling powerless about the future. Instead of letting your mind run wild with what ifs, ask yourself, what can I do right now to prepare for this situation? Whether it's studying for an exam, practicing for a presentation, or creating a backup plan, taking proactive steps will give you a sense of control and reduce your anxiety. 2. You have overcome difficult situations before. Think back to times in your life when you faced uncertainty, hardship, or unexpected changes. At the time, you may have felt scared, lost, or overwhelmed. Yet, here you survived, and in many cases, you came out stronger. Life is unpredictable, but one thing is certain. You are far more resilient than you give yourself credit for. Every past challenge you've faced has helped shape you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable person. The future may bring new difficulties, but you already have proof that you can handle adversity. How to apply this in daily life? Keep a resilience journal where you list past challenges you've overcome. When fear arises, look back at how strong you have been. Instead of fearing problems, remind yourself, I've faced difficulties before, and I've always found a way through them. See challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats. Every hardship carries a lesson that makes you stronger. 3. Change is the only constant, and that's a good thing. Many of us worry about the future because it represents change, the unknown, the unpredictable. As humans, we are wired to seek comfort and stability, which is why we often resist change. We fear that it might bring discomfort, loss, or failure. But what if we looked at change differently? What if, instead of seeing it as something to dread, we saw it as a path to new opportunities, growth, and discovery? Life is in a constant state of motion. Nothing ever truly stays the same. Seasons change, people grow, technology advances, and we as individuals continue to evolve. While this can feel unsettling, it is also what makes life rich, dynamic, and full of potential. If everything remained the same, there would be no progress, no learning, no adventure. The fear of change vs. the reality of growth. Think about a moment in your life when something unexpected happened, a career shift, a relationship ending, a sudden opportunity you hadn't planned for. At first, it may have been overwhelming, even painful. You might have worried that things would never be the same or that you had lost control over your life. But looking back, can you see how that change led to something valuable? Perhaps losing a job forced you to explore a new career path that ended up being more fulfilling. Maybe the end of a relationship opened the door for self-discovery and personal growth. Or an unplanned move led you to a new city where you met amazing people and experienced things you never imagined. The truth is, change often brings unexpected gifts, even if they are not immediately obvious. A study conducted by psychologists at the University of California found that people tend to overestimate how negatively they will feel about future changes and underestimate their ability to adapt. In reality, we are far more resilient than we give ourselves credit for. Most of the time, we adjust more quickly than we expect, and what once seemed terrifying becomes our new normal. How to shift your mindset about change. Understanding that change is inevitable is one thing, but embracing it is another. Here are some practical ways to train yourself to welcome change with an open mind and a positive attitude. Reframe change as an opportunity, not a threat. Instead of automatically assuming that change will lead to something bad, ask yourself, what if something amazing happens instead of something terrible? What new experiences could this bring into my life? How can I use this situation to grow and improve? Every major success story involves change. People who achieve great things rarely stay in their comfort zones. They embrace the unknown, take risks, and adapt to new circumstances. By shifting your perspective, you open yourself up to the possibility that change might be exactly what you need. Train yourself to be adaptable. Life will always throw unexpected challenges your way. Instead of resisting what you cannot control, focus on what you can control. Your attitude, your ability to problem solve, your willingness to learn from the experience. Think of adaptability as a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. When you approach change with a problem-solving mindset instead of a fearful one, you empower yourself to navigate uncertainty with confidence. Look to your past for evidence of your strength. Whenever you find yourself fearing the future, remind yourself, life has always changed, and I have always adjusted. There were times I thought I wouldn't get through something, but I did. If I handled change before, I can handle it again. Your past experiences have equipped you with the skills and resilience you need to face the unknown. Trust in your ability to navigate whatever comes next. Focus on the present moment. Much of our fear about the future comes from imagining worst-case scenarios that haven't even happened yet. Instead of getting lost in anxious thoughts about what might go wrong, ground yourself in the present. Ask yourself, what can I do today to move forward? What small step can I take right now to prepare for change? What is within my control at this moment? By focusing on what you can control in the present, you reduce the power of fear over your mind. View life as an adventure, not a fixed path. The most fulfilling lives are not the ones that follow a perfectly planned script. They are the ones filled with unexpected turns, new experiences, and moments of growth. When you start seeing life as an adventure rather than something that must be rigidly controlled, change becomes exciting instead of terrifying. 4. The present moment is where your power lies. The more we worry about the future, the more we lose sight of the only place where we have true control, the present moment. No matter how much we stress about tomorrow, we cannot predict or control what will happen weeks, months, or years from now. What we can control is how we respond today. And when we focus on making the most of the present, we set ourselves up for a better future without unnecessary anxiety. One of the most effective ways to reduce worry is practicing mindfulness, which involves being fully present in the moment. Studies show that mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing, meditation, and gratitude exercises can significantly lower stress and increase overall happiness. How to apply this in daily life? Whenever you feel anxious about the future, ask yourself, what can I do right now to feel more at peace? Practice mindful breathing, take slow, deep breaths, and focus on the present. Keep a gratitude journal to shift your focus from future worries to present blessings. 5. You are more capable than you think. Trust yourself. You are stronger than you think. Worrying about the future often comes from a deep-rooted sense of self-doubt, the fear that we won't be able to handle what's ahead. We wonder, what if I'm not strong enough? What if I fail? What if I make the wrong decision? These thoughts can be overwhelming, making the future seem like an insurmountable challenge rather than an opportunity for growth. But here's the truth. You are far more capable than you realize. Life has already tested you in ways you never expected. You have faced uncertainty, navigated challenges, and come out stronger on the other side. Think back to a time when you doubted yourself, perhaps a difficult decision, a personal setback, or an unexpected change. At that moment, you may have felt lost, but somehow you found a way forward. You adapted. You learned. You grew. Even if the future brings obstacles, you will overcome them, just as you always have. You have more strength than you give yourself credit for. Every experience in your life, both good and bad, has shaped you into the person you are today. The skills you've gained, the lessons you've learned, and the resilience you've built are all proof of your ability to handle whatever comes next. Consider these questions. Have you ever faced a situation you thought you couldn't handle, yet somehow you did? Have you ever doubted yourself before taking on a challenge, only to realize you were more capable than you thought? Have you ever learned something new, solved a problem, or found a way through a difficult time? The answer is yes, because you have already proven your strength time and time again. Fear vs. trust. Which one will you choose? Self-doubt keeps us stuck in fear. It convinces us that we're not ready, that we're not enough, that the future is too uncertain to face with confidence. But the truth is, fear is just a voice in your head. It is not reality. When you replace fear with trust, everything changes. Instead of seeing the future as something to be afraid of, you start seeing it as something you can handle. You shift from feeling powerless to feeling empowered. How to build self-trust and face the future with confidence. If you want to stop worrying about the future and start trusting yourself more, try these powerful mindset shifts. Replace self-doubt with self-affirmation. Your thoughts shape your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not capable, you'll believe it. But if you remind yourself of your strength, you'll start to see yourself in a different light. Whenever self-doubt creeps in, counter it with affirmations like, I have faced difficulties before, and I have always found a way through. I am capable of learning, adapting, and growing. I trust myself to handle whatever comes my way. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they become part of your mindset. Keep a proof of strength journal. Sometimes we forget how much we've already overcome. Keeping a journal of past challenges and how you overcame them can be a powerful reminder of your resilience. Write down moments when you achieved something you once thought was impossible. You faced a setback but found a way to move forward. You surprised yourself with your strength or problem-solving abilities. Whenever fear of the future starts to creep in, read through your journal to remind yourself you have handled challenges before and you will handle them again. Take small steps forward instead of focusing on the unknown. One of the biggest reasons we fear the future is because we try to predict everything that could go wrong. But the truth is, you don't need to have all the answers right now. Instead of getting lost in what ifs, focus on what now. What is one small step I can take today? What is in my control right now? How can I prepare without letting fear take over? By taking small, manageable actions, you build confidence in your ability to navigate the future one step at a time. Trust the process of growth. You won't always have the perfect plan. You won't always feel 100% ready. And that's okay. Growth happens in the moments of uncertainty, in the times when you step outside your comfort zone and discover what you're truly capable of. Instead of fearing the unknown, embrace it as part of your journey. Trust that you will learn, adapt, and rise to the occasion when the time comes. Final thoughts. Trust the process of life. Worrying about the future is a natural part of being human, but it doesn't have to control your life. By reminding yourself that most worries never happen, you have overcome difficulties before. Change brings new opportunities. The present is where your power lies, and you are stronger than you think. You can let go of unnecessary stress and embrace life with greater peace. Instead of fearing the unknown, trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Life is unpredictable, but that unpredictability also brings growth, adventure, and possibilities you can't yet imagine. So take a deep breath, focus on today, and move forward with faith in yourself and the journey ahead. The future is not something to fear, it's something to embrace. Would you like me to refine or expand on any part of this?
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.